what would need to happen for the Chinese mainland markets to start outperforming again?
Well, I think, first of all, what we've sort of seen over the weekend is that the authorities there have clearly decided that they want to loosen or at least ease in terms of monetary policy, and that certainly will help. China has been unusual in a global context in running a tighter monetary policy over the last 6 months or so. Everywhere else, we've pretty much seen monetary policy remain very loose. And typically, tighter monetary policy creates a bit of a headwind for markets. So that's certainly been an issue so far. That may have changed given the reduction in the reserve ratio requirement that was announced last Friday.
So if we broaden the conversation out from China, and I'm gathering from what you're saying there, Simon, that essentially key to stock market performance, at least one of the keys to stock market performance, is a benign rate environment. But how much of that depends globally on what is happening with inflation? And what camp would you be in terms of whether or not we've seen the worst, or is the worst yet to come?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's probably one of the most critical issues facing markets, for the foreseeable future, in terms of direction of inflation. The U.S. Federal Reserve has clearly stated that they believe that the inflationary spike that we are seeing at the moment there is transitory, and as accordingly are not adjusting their monetary policy. And I think the markets have taken that as being the lead, and assuming therefore that monetary policy will remain accommodative for a while longer. The risk clearly is that actually, inflation turns out to be more persistent than is expected, and I think were that to come about, then there would be a risk that central banks globally might be behind the curve in terms of tackling inflation, and that would certainly create a significant headwind for markets globally.
For here in Asia, is stagflation a real risk?
I think, again, it's too early to say. There's no doubt that some of the inflationary pressures that we've been seeing are a result of the year-on-year effects as a result of the pandemic, and some of those will definitely prove to be temporary. It's trying to understand exactly how many, how the extent to which those trends are temporary. That will determine exactly where inflation goes. So I think it's too early to say specifically to that question.